Do you know which is the fifth largest economy in the world? It is India. And as Indians, we are supposed to be proud about it. More importantly, this video will be presenting you a case study of what are the tools that India used over the past 15 years from being the world's ninth largest economy to growing into the world's fifth largest economy, right? This is a wonderful opportunity to explore the tools that are used by India, right? This video is going to exactly be that doing that particular job, right? So you're watching Million Dollar Question series from Samvid Money Minds, and this is Samvid Narayan. I welcome you warmly to this video of Million Dollar Question series powered by Pragya Management Consultants, episode number 3, in which we will be exploring the India's wonderful journey from being world's ninth largest economy to the fifth largest economy. The first reform that India took up was service sector was growing very, very strongly. The government was spending a huge amount on infrastructure, like Vande Bharat schemes, and many other schemes was bought, wherein the government was hugely investing on infrastructure. Third, the GST 2.0, which we talked about in the episode number 1, made businesses easier, as I explained you, which was due to the rate cuts. The tax rate cuts. And fourth, most importantly, rapid digitalization, GPay, PhonePe, BHIM, and many other digital apps, software were coming, which improved efficiency. And more importantly, schemes like Make in India, production-linked scheme, production-linked incentive scheme, all these things supported the manufacturers, enthusiastic them, that is motivated them, and these factors help India to grow in the global economic rankings, right? Moving on to the macroeconomic stability and inflation, right? At every country's growth, at the heart of every country's growth, lies the macroeconomic stability and inflation. CPIIW, which means the consumer price index of industrial workers, which was double digit, as you can see in the graph, in 2012 to 2013. This is the graph that I'm talking about, which is the second from the left, right? As you can see here, it was more than 10%, but look at it now, it is just 2.75%, right? Right? This was also one of the key factors that helped India to grow. This was in the year 2012 to 2013. Why was it so? It was because high commodity prices, high crude oil prices, and most importantly, fiscal slippages, right? But over the years, due to the correction of all the aforesaid factors, it dropped to 3.62 in 2024 to 25, and further in the months of April to October 2025, it is just 2.75%, right? Now, the GDP growth, if you compare with it, it was somewhere about 8 to 10%. But hugely, it was a drastic dip in the GST growth due to the pandemic. But after recovery, it is about 6.49% in the year 2024 to 25, right? This was because India's firm monetary stance of the Monetary Policy Committee, particularly during the post-COVID period, led to a recovery along with a humongous amount of foreign exchange reserves, which played a crucial role in stabilizing the prices, thereby reducing the inflations. Right now, moving on to the interest rate trends, which is first, if we look at the repo rate. Yeah. So the repo rate is the rate in which the central bank of a country, like India's RBI, lends to a particular bank in that particular country, right? So if this rate is eased, that is decreased, then there would be more flow of money from the RBI to the bank, and further, this bank will be lending at a softer rate, and this will increase the money supply, thereby decreasing the inflation in the economy, right? Do, the, on to 2010, on 16th December 2010, it was 6.2 percentage, as you can see in the graph. And on 5th December 2025, which was the previous Monetary Policy Committee meeting, it was just 5.25 percentage. And in between, it also came to 4 percentage and then increased to 4.25 percentage. And now it is 5.25 percentage. There are also projections that the repo rate will decrease further to 5 percentage in the financial year 2026 to 27, and then a little bit increase back to 5.25 percentage, right? So this will curb the inflation in the economy, right? Moving on to the next rate, which is lending rate and deposit rate by the banks. Till now we spoke about the lending rates of the RBI to the bank. Now this is from the bank to the public, right? The lending rate which was 8.88 percentage, it shortened down to 8.08 percentage, which means the bank is initiating a little bit higher amount of loans in the mean period, right? As you can see, it got increased a little bit, but it further declined in the medieval period and also increased, and now it is at a 8.08 percentage, which means there will be even more money supply in the economy because the lending rates are getting eased, right? Deposit rate, that is the interest that the banks give you on your particular deposit. Unfortunately, no, I'm sorry, I used the word unfortunately. It is fortunately 8.63 percentage, and now it is 6.48 percentage, right? Which means that the public will be discouraged to put fixed deposits in the bank, and thereby there will be more liquid cash with the public and money supply will increase, right, in the economy. Having seen the trends of interest rates and other rates uh, like deposit rates or lending rates and etc. Now let us see the trend of the market, like the Nifty 50 market, gold and silver market, and the rupee market, right? Now, uh, now the rupees is at a scale of, which was at a scale of 2000. I'm sorry, in December 2010, it was at a scale of 45.05, and now it is at a scale of 89.89, which is approximately 90, which means when you were at 2010, for buying $1, you needed only 45 rupees. But now, if you need to buy $1, you needed 89.89 rupees, right? Which is a terrible depreciation in the value of rupee. Okay. But you will be asking me that the rupee is depreciating, but you are saying that India is the fifth largest economy. Isn't this actually conflicting? Yes. Let me give an explanation to that, which is actually the why rupee is falling is because the dollar demand is increasing. Foreign investors are investing, are basically pulling money out, which is portfolio outflows is happening, and a stronger demand is there for dollars from the importers. And more importantly, there is a trade deficit in India, which means that import is more than the export. But why is India remaining in a top economy? It's because there is a strong domestic economic expansion happening here. And more importantly, there is an import substitution, which means that, we have succeeded in discouraging finished goods imports, but uh, we are still wanting to import high value components to manufacture the goods here, right? And please also note that the RBI is allowing the rupee to weaken so that the India will be increasing in its export and volatility can be managed. Rather, if the rupee is appreciating, we'll be having to defending that particular appreciation to a certain level by using dollar reserves, and we'll be having to dry up our dollar reserves that we are happening here. So the impact of this rupee depreciation is actually positive on the Indian economy by increasing the export, right? Now, moving on, let us look at the gold and silver rates, the precious metal investment sector, wherein the gold emerged as a stronger performer with prices rising more than 6 times over the 15 years, and it delivered a growth rate of 12.9%, right? Its growth was attributable to global crises like the Russia-Ukraine war and the Fed's tantrum and rupee weakening, inflation concerns, right, and lower real interest rates, and especially after the pandemic, which heightened the uncertainty, people started moving to gold. And now, as you can see in the graph, gold, which was at 20,607 points, now emerged to 1,28,509 points, right? And silver, which was at 44,585 points, now emerged to 1,80,618 points, right? So overall, consolidating I believe that India is transitioning from a consumption-led economy to a more balanced and a more driven economy. Driven economy by manufacturing sector, infrastructure sector, and domestic capital formation, right? It might be a human capital formation, or it might be an investment formation. As I told you, India is investing more in infrastructural sector, right? If these reforms continue, as I believe, the productivity also should improve, and the human capital is strengthened. India's rise in the global ranking can definitely be into a sustained prosperity rather than just a milestone, right? So this is my opinion. I had also consolidated the entire discussion that we had. So I hope you found this episode of Million Dollar Question series useful. So if you like this video, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the subscribe button from red to gray, and more importantly, hit the bell notification. Right? If you have any feedbacks, please do leave it in the comment section below. This is Samvid signing off from Million Dollar Question series, episode number 3, powered by Pragya Management Consultants. Right? Goodbye, take care, and see you in yet another episode.